back. It's just me still. Just me. Billy will be back, I think. He was at the divisive Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Now, before we get into something that is somehow the most talked about thing in a time where we've gotten access to millions, literal millions of pages of the people that run this world being rapists and pedophiles. Somehow, the Super Bowl, the game, is the most talked about thing. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously. It obviously makes sense. Perfect timing, I'll say that. I mean, the Super Bowl couldn't have come. People are worried. People are stressed. We covered this last week. We needed to remind ourselves what America is about. Watch the motherfucking Super Bowl, baby. I mean, it is incredible. You don't realize how weird it is that we fly military-grade fighter jets over our stadium before we play. Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that strange? I know I'm not the first person to talk about that or to touch on it, but, like, isn't it strange that we fly weaponry over a sporting event, over a game? Like, if you've listened to this show long enough, you know that I have a particular disdain for the cult of sport. You know, like, listen, all right, Patriots were in it this year. I have not watched a Patriot game this whole year, okay? I'm from Rhode Island. Tom Brady and the Patriots, I grew up on those motherfuckers. We watched the games all the time. It was always a thing. And then you know what happens? You get a little bit older, you get a little bit wiser, and you stop giving a fuck because you realize that there's more to life, number one. And you also realize that I'm 28 years old. I'm watching people that are 5, 6, 7 years younger than me play a game and make more money than I'll ever even sniff in my life. If there was a contract for the amount of money that these guys make, for me to even look at it would be an immense privilege. It would be incredible for me to even look at an NFL contract. It's like watching Cribs. I think Greg Giraldo had a great bit where he's like, yeah, that stuff's fun to watch when you're young, but when you're 32 years old and you're in your one bedroom, you're in your studio apartment at the time, people could afford studio apartments, and you're on a futon, which is what I have next to me, and you're watching Shaq lay down on his bed that's big enough to it's the size of Belgium. You know, then it's like, okay, this isn't exactly so great. But the Patriots played this past Sunday. They lost. Very boring Super Bowl. Very boring. The game was boring. I mean, you can't really control the game, although some people say that you can. The game was relatively boring. The Patriots lost. They lost a boring game. But I'll tell you this. I was rooting for him. I'm no better. I had my Patriots gear on. I had my hat. Where's my Patriots hat? Look at this. Patriots hat. Wore it the whole time. Didn't even need to, and I did. Wore my Patriots jacket. It is my warmest jacket that I own, so I would be wearing it anyway. That's what I've been wearing throughout this whole winter. But I fell into it. I fell right into it, and I get it, man. I get it. But it's also like, this Super Bowl Sunday was my only day off this past week. So I really wanted to go all out. I really hadn't enjoyed a Super Bowl in the way that I did this past one. This one was actually, I did have a good time, oddly enough. I know that's hard to believe for the people that know me and have listened to me for a while. I am capable of having a good time. Okay, and usually what that means is I drink to excess. I mean excess. Real bad. Like right now, I still feel I'm still feeling the remnants of the drinking and the eating. Because it's one of those. It's like a holiday. The Super Bowl is like a holiday. People in other countries watch the Super Bowl. They don't watch football. They don't care, but they watch the Super Bowl because it is such a spectacle. It's such a spectacle. It's such an event. I mean, the stadiums are insane. Nobody ever gets killed. Unlike soccer events, there's soccer events where they get real rowdy. But over here, nope. We just show you that we could kill you. We fly big jets over and we show you that we could really, really ruin your entire life and livelihood. And we remind people of that. And there's people in other countries that watch it. There's people in other countries that have been bombed by those very jets. And they will still sit down and watch it. There's no PTSD in those places. That is life. Life is waking up, walking to the merchant, the outdoor market. You walk over there, you buy bread, you buy fish, and then at some point in the day, you hear, and you go, oh, well, okay. I got to go tend to the fields. They just bombed the city center. So I guess I'm not going there today. I got to go back to the field, or I got to go back to making whatever the fuck I make to help me live and feed my family. There's no time to really think about, the repercussions of it, because that's where PTSD comes from. It's you thinking about it. Over there's no thinking. Not saying they're not capable of it. I'm just saying that it's such a part of their lives, that the bombing and all that shit. It's background noise. It's background noise. It's like news articles here. We see a news article and we already know. Some of us, at least, know that it's just there to kind of fuck with you and be divisive. You look at which 3 letters are at the bottom or the top right corner, and you go, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. They're pushing something here, and you just move on. That's bombing in other places that, usually brown people. That's Anyway, doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm talking about the Super Bowl. How did I end up on this? Maybe I have a problem. Maybe I shouldn't be like... See, here's the thing. When Billy's here or when I have another guest, I kind of am in check. Like, I try to make it fun. I even know that there's been times where Billy has tried to, get me off track. Like, I'll go a little too hard on something, and then he'll... Because I've recognized... I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but I've recognized it. And, that... He's kind of able to get me off. When I'm here alone, I just let the thoughts flow. I let the theater of the mind play out. And for whatever reason, the theater in my mind there's always people getting hurt somehow. But maybe I have PTSD. Anyway, the Super Bowl, the time I had was fun. Before we touch on the thing that everybody, Bad Bunny's performance and the other halftime show, I just want to talk about what I did personally and why the Super Bowl is such a cultural, beautiful thing here in America. It has done more for global relations than any politician. Do you understand that? Do you understand that there's people all across the world that tune into the Super Bowl because of how great an event it is? And the party is great. I mean, it gives everyone a reason to get fucked up on a Sunday. All these normies that have work the next day, they don't give a fuck. Some of them take the day off. Some of them take the fucking day off because they want to watch the game and get hammered. They want to watch the game and get hammered and eat bullshit and eat cheese dip. They want to dip shit in goop and drink as if they haven't been doing that all football season already. This is the big one. This is the one for the people that don't watch football, right? Like me. This is the one that we come out and we show out. They've been doing it the whole, and this one is the one, right? Especially when your team's in it. So I pull up to a friend's house. And I had already been drinking at my other friend. We all went together. We met at one place, and then we went to the party. And my plan was to drink drink hard. Like I said, this was my only day off on Sunday. Right now, I'm grabbing my ankles and I'm getting fucked. That's really what it is. I'm in between jobs. I'm leaving one job and I'm starting another one. So I'm kind of working extra because I put in my 2 weeks at the other place. So I'm doing a lot, and I've been sleeping very poorly, and it's really been. It's been tough. So the way to fix that is your only day off, you need to poison yourself. You got to poison yourself. You got to drink, you got to smoke, and you got to eat garbage, and you got to stay up late, and you got to do all these things. Even though like I don't have the privilege of taking the day off. I don't. I know some people, they have PTO, they have these kinds of things. I don't have that. I work in a bar. Okay, I work in a restaurant right now, soon to be a bar, and I work at these places, and you can't really. It's not the same structure. There's a lot of people that haven't done those things, or they haven't done them in a long time. But if you've done it, you can't call it, especially if you're opening, and it's the whole thing. So I'm really I'm the tough guy here. You get what I'm saying? I'm risking everything for this Super Bowl. I might even be a fanatic. You get what I'm saying? There's some people that are there to do the same things I'm doing, but they have the opportunity to take the day off and nurse themselves back to health. Not me. I had to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday, the next day. And I had to go to work. I had to go to work and stand behind a bar and be hungover the entire day, the whole day, which I enjoy. By the way, I've said it very many times on here. I like working hungover. It's good. It's good. It's the reward for your debauchery. The reward isn't the jumping around and having fun and saying funny shit and flirting and doing all this. That's not the real reward to drinking. It's the next day. It's the next day to see what you're made of. Can you get up? Can you get up out of bed? Your body's sore. You want to throw up. Oh, you already did. So anyway, I drink about half a bottle of wine at the initial place. I'm sitting around with my buddies, my 4 buddies, who have not much else going on today. It's a Super Bowl, so I'm drinking wine. They're drinking whatever they're drinking. The only reason I had the wine was because my girlfriend stayed over the night before, and we ate, and it was nice and lovely. But I had this Sauvignon Blanc that gave me a headache. Like I woke up the next day. I woke up on Sunday around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is perfect, by the way. It's perfect. Here's the fun thing about my new job. My schedule is going to change. So I'm going to be working at night till like 2 a.m., which is awesome. Awesome. I can't stand waking up early in the morning, and if you do it, you're Satan. I almost said a vampire, but you're Satan. You're Satan. I don't understand how for the past 4 years, I've been getting scheduled to work in the morning, and I can't do it. I literally cannot do it. I don't know what my problem is. Maybe I'm a lazy piece of shit who can't wake up in the morning. That could be it. Or maybe I'm just, I don't know, not a morning person. I don't know what the deal is. So it's nice that I can go ahead and whatever. So I wake up. My girl stays over for a little bit longer, and then I head over to the boys' house with the booze. On the way there, I stop because you don't want to show up empty-handed to the actual party. So I stop. I buy some more booze. I buy a bottle of Jack Daniels, mostly for myself because this is New York City. Okay, this is Brooklyn. The people that are hanging out at this thing, they're not looking for Jack Daniels. They're not. They're just not. That's not an insult. They're just not looking to drink Jack Daniels. My insides are weak, so I got to temper them. I got to drink whiskey straight out of the bottle, not out of the bottle literally, but you know what I mean. Just in a glass, just whiskey, maybe a little bit of ice. But most of the night it was straight because I'd be taking all the ice, and it's not my house. So I buy a bottle of Jack Daniels. I buy some High Noons for the girls, for the boys and girls that want a little flavor. I want punch, okay? And listen, I'm drinking Sauvignon Blanc before all this. So again, I'm not throwing any shade, not any real shade anyway. So I'm at the crib. I finished the bottle of wine. I'm smoking a little bit of electronic weed. I like the electronic weed because it fucks you up instantly. It makes you completely silent. If you have a kid that doesn't shut up or some annoying person around you, just pull out one of those. Pull out one of those. Hey, 5-year-old, shut your mouth. Take this and inhale. Suck in and hold it. You'll shut up. It's like the modern brandy, right? Like in the early in the early days, you soak a pacifier and a little bit of brandy, the kid shuts up. Now it's electronic weed. You'll give the kid a brain aneurysm and he'll never talk again. It'll be perfect. It'll make Tylenol look like marshmallows. You know how they said Tylenol and acetaminophen gives you autism? Let the kid take a whack off the green ball sack kush or whatever the fuck they're calling it. I saw a weed called garlic. Are you kidding me? Garlic. I'm smoking on that garlic, son. God. Stealing shit from Italians. If an Italian guy... That's the thing about Italian people. They don't really like weed. They don't really care for weed. You know, they'd rather drink early on. All the Italian people that I grew up around, except for my family, because, my dad was an alcoholic. But other families, it was, kids would drink. 10, 11, 12, 13 people would drink. I remember I worked with a family in a pizza shop, and they, all super Italian. And the owner would give us booze. He would give the delivery driver booze. You get what I'm saying? And we were in high school. Beginning of college. You know what I'm saying? We're not even 21. And we would drink while we're working. But if anybody mentioned weed... Like if he'd look at his daughters and be like, don't let me catch you smoking that stuff. Early onset alcoholism is fine, but smoking a little weed, whatever. That's where they draw the line, those Italians. No smoking weed and no letting your wife walk around without black eyes. Those are the two things that Italians really hammer away. Especially Italian Americans. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We go to the party, we get there, and the game is on in the house. Well, the game's not on yet, but the channel is on, and the house smells great. My buddy's cooking chili. It was delicious. There's lots of food. There's chips. And we sit down, and then one of his friends comes in. One of his friends who is at they're doing a master's program at Columbia University, an Asian girl. She comes in, she sits down, and she tells us that now this is New York, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? The Super Bowl is about to start, okay? They're about to have Green Day open the Super Bowl. Keep your social justice, humanitarian bullshit out of this right now. This is America. We're going to have a Budweiser commercial with an eagle and horses. Listen. I love to complain about this country as much as the next fucking guy. Everyone does. Everyone loves. That's part of the reason why we live here, because we can complain about it. And because we were born here and we're scared of any other place. We're completely terrified of any other culture because we're used to this one. And we've been bred to believe that we're the best. So and the Super Bowl is a part of that. The Super Bowl is a part of that. Shut up with your shit. She comes in, she sits down, she said she's working on her master's program in human rights. I said, wow, you're working on being poor. I'll take my coffee black, please, miss. Hey, miss, I will, let me get a slice of that cake. Yeah. Hey, miss, let me get a Budweiser. How about that? That's what you're working on. That's what you're working on. You're working on, the canned tunas in aisle 4. That's a lot of money to go to an Ivy League school to learn how to stock shelves. So apparently this person got arrested and potentially kicked out of the program for protesting to free Palestine. Obviously for freeing Palestine, not against it. That would be incredible. And it obviously shows the hypocrisy of the program in general. And you're spending a lot of money to do it. You're spending lots of money to do it, and you're still going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like she wants to be back in the program, so it's like she's figuring it out. And it's at this point you've kind of gotten your degree. You got your degree. If you got arrested and kicked out of a school, of an institution, you've kind of gotten your degree in human rights. You understand what I'm saying? You've gotten it. You figured it out. You figured out that they're fake. You figured out that they could take them away from you whenever you want. My human right is to protest and to stay in, and right to an education, and I pay for this, and pop, pop, pop. Really? Okay. Okay, go protest. Let's see what happens. And then you do it, and then you're kicked out. Oh, wow. That's the biggest lesson you could learn. How ironic. Isn't it ironic? It's like rain when you're protesting for Palestine. It's like getting arrested and getting kicked out of university. That's what it is. It's ironic. It's funny. But that's some of the first shit that she said when she sat down. Okay, and I'm already a little tipsy. Okay. I've been hitting the weed pen, the electronic weed. I've been drinking the Oyster Bay, Sauvignon Blanc. That shit's gone. Now we're getting into the whiskey. The whiskey. Time to drink whiskey, baby. It's Jack Daniels. This is America, goddammit. And then they got some folk lady with, 11 Grammys and nobody knows her name. I don't know her name, but she's there singing some American song and they fly the planes and it's fucking incredible. And this is great. And there's a big banner that says 250 years, United States of America, 250 years. And this bitch has to chime up and go, isn't it funny how every democracy pretty much ends at 250 years? This is over. This is pretty much over. Hey, lady, save it. I got a mouthful of buffalo chicken dip and a glass full of Jack Daniels. My balls are hanging lower than they ever have. We're about to watch millionaires give each other brain damage. Shut up. Be quiet for once. I get it. I understand. Save it for tomorrow. Save it for tomorrow. I understand that we suck. I get it. I get it that right now we're watching a game. We're watching a game and there's a list of people that should be persecuted for child rape that we're not talking about. I understand it. I understand that we're corrupt. I get it. But lady, it is the Super Bowl. Give it a rest. Give it a few hours. At least wait for it to end. At least wait for the game to end. If you don't want to save it for tomorrow, if you're boiling with, oh, God, I need to say something in this moment, then just hold it, keep it in for, it's like when you're about to throw up. When you're about to throw up, you don't throw up in front of everybody. You don't do that. You excuse yourself. Even if you feel like it's coming up, you hold it in and you say, excuse me 1 second. Your voice might change a little bit. You might be sweating on your brow. People see it on you, but they know what you're going to go do. You don't throw up in front of people and you fuck up the whole party. You don't do that. You go to the bathroom like a fucking decent person and you yak, and then you come out like nothing happened. You wipe your mouth, you take a shot, or you drink a little something, a little lemonade, get the taste out of your mouth, and you spit it, and you're good. Okay, but this chick had to vomit her bullshit in front of everybody. This is the day. This is the one day. I would rather you do it on the 4th of July. I'd rather you do it on the 4th of July. I would rather you, as the fireworks are going, I do it all the time on the 4th of July, not in the Super Bowl. Not in the goddamn Super Bowl. This is the most American, one of the most American holidays, because it is a holiday, one of the most American events that has ever been, which is why it is so funny to me. It is so funny to me. And I'll keep going on what I did, but we might as well get to the topic. It is so goddamn funny to me how American the Super Bowl is innately. The idea of it innately is the most American fucking thing ever. And people were so outraged that they turned the station when Bad Bunny came on and put on Kid Rock and those nobodies, those fools, those brainwashed fucking idiots watching that bullshit. Has Kid Rock put out a new song that anybody knows about? Does anybody? Kid Rock has become the poster, but he's been co-opted by that cult. Okay, both sides are cults, but right now the foolish one is the right. Obviously, everybody can see. It used to be the left, where they were the fools, right? Anybody can identify as anything. You can be a rooster. You can, whatever, right? Everybody was they were the foolish ones. Now it's the right that's foolish, and they somehow were able to raise enough money to fill a stadium. I think it was a stadium. I don't know. I saw clips of it so that they could watch a 50-year-old man jump around in shorts and not even perform. Not even sing. He's lip syncing. Not even lip syncing well. He would put the microphone down and just jump around and then talk about the Bible. And then these other, they had these three, I could have gone up there and done time. I could have gone up there and sang Free Bird. You want to hear me sing Free Bird? It would have been the same as those other guys. There was one guy up there. I just want to mow my lawn. I just want to sit in my truck. I want to drink my beer. It ain't easy being country. That's what it ain't easy being country. Yeah, because you guys are fucking stupid. You guys are dumb. You're all idiots. You're stupid. I mean, it is blatantly stupid to have an event like that. Okay, it just looked disgusting. It looked cheap. It looked not put together well. It looked like a grasp at something that is just dissipating. You know, it's like there's this air that they're trying to get at, and it's just disappearing. It's going away. That's what it looks like, because people are getting fed up now with them, right? This is what it is. The pendulum swings back and forth. That's what it is. I've talked about it. Everybody talks about it. So people are grasping at these figures that are just kind of disappearing, and it's just so, it was sad to look at and watch. Now, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the real halftime show, which was incredibly American, right? It was incredibly American. You had a man who didn't speak one piece of English, all right? He didn't speak any English, not a lick of it, during the whole performance. I think at the end he might have said, he said, "God bless America," of course. And he also said, "my motherland," and then Puerto Rico. I think those were the only English words that he spoke, right? And then maybe some of his lyrics, sitchis, right? And the performance was incredible. The performance was so goddamn good. It was uniting. It was great. And to have the gall, to have the idiocy to say that the Super Bowl, the most American event that there's ever been, that exists in the fucking world, the Super Bowl, having a guy who is an American, by the way, headline it and not speak English and be one of the top artists in the world, come here and thrive, or be born here, okay? Be born here and thrive. Despite all that shit, despite all the systemic issues, despite the hate, despite the rhetoric of Latin people and Hispanic people being, drug addicts and murderers and all this shit, like white people don't do that either. Like all the white people here are, they're good. They're not doing any, they aren't doing any of those things that those dirty Mexicans are doing and those dirty Latin Americans are doing. They wouldn't even say that. They would say something else. The fact that he could do that is more American than that bullshit that they had, that blatantly racist, right? Blatantly racist. They had all country artists, all white guys, white people. There might have been a woman on there, but it was all, you know what I'm saying? It was disgusting to witness. And I have a friend, okay, he's been on the podcast. I don't know why I'm saying it facetiously. James, who's been on the show a bunch of times, he's my best friend in the whole world. He was at a bar where the guy actually took the time to stop and change this channel. Change the channel when Bad Bunny came on. That is hilarious to me. I was hungover, drunk still on Monday at work, dying laughing at that, because that means you had to stop and go and have the conscious decision and know the channel, by the way. He knew the channel. He knew what channel it would be on, and he switched it, and he said, now we're talking. This is America. This is the America first. America first. I mean, the fact that anybody is upset about the halftime show when we live in a country that has been manipulated by pretty much one guy for a long time, a guy that we didn't even know about until he was found dead in his cell. We didn't even know about Jeffrey Epstein. Did anybody know about him? That isn't Alex Jones or in that, you know what I'm saying? Nobody knew about that fucking guy. So except for the people that he dealt with. Or the people that were really digging. You get what I'm saying? Nobody knew who the fuck that was. And it turns out he had massive influence on this country. And the fact that you can't watch the Super Bowl for what it is. It's a cultural event. That's what it is. We have a weird, crazy culture here in this country, and the Super Bowl is at the center of it. It's incredible. It really is. It really is an incredible thing. It brings people together. And the fact that people are so upset that a guy from Puerto Rico, which is America, is headlining because he's going to speak Spanish, because it's protest-esque. Okay, what do you got? The other shit is a protest as well. The TPUSA. You got Kid Rock up there with a guitar. There's a Bible. There's a book in your house that requires some. Hey, don't you have a White House made of gold in your backyard? Aren't you a fucking cuck to this fucking system anyway? What are you talking about that you're this big religious fucking? Weren't you at Woodstock 99 inciting violence? Weren't you doing these things? I'm sure there's more scandals. I'm kind of grasping for them. I don't know what they are. But he's a fucking... Nobody cares about that. People could not care less about that guy at this point in time. People could not care less about Kid Rock. And the people who were performing on that thing were... Who the fuck were they? It was disgusting and embarrassing to watch. The actual halftime show was incredible. Now, here's the other thing that I think is funny. There's a couple things that I think are funny, right? Kid Rock's... One of his biggest songs is Ball with the Ball, right? Ball with the ball, da bang, a dang, diggy, 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 said the boogie, said up, jump the boogie. The right is so upset at Spanish-speaking people that they would rather listen to gibberish. They would rather listen to nothing words that are nothing. It's like when someone says, speak in your own words. That's what we all think. Oh, that's funny. You could just speak gibberish. This is my own words. That's how upset people are. Now, here's the other thing, right? Think about some of the other performers that have played at the actual Super Bowl. Think about it. Okay, the Rolling Stones, Rihanna, The Who. They're not Americans. These people aren't American citizens, and it has never once been so divided that there needed to be another halftime show. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? What is this? What is this psychosis, this nonsense that people feel like they have to separate themselves from what's actually... People are so... There's such a weird nationalist rhetoric here in this country that comes and goes every so often. And we forget that we're a country of complete contradictions. We are founded on the basis that every man is created equal except for black people. Okay? That's the basis that this country was founded on. Do you understand that? Do you understand that we have a list of rights that are constantly being infringed upon by the people that we've elected? You've elected. I don't vote. But the people that supposedly are supposed to be leading us? Do you understand that this entire country is a major, major, major contradiction that is just trying to sell shit constantly trying to sell shit? The idea of sustainable investing, which is something I've talked about ad nauseum for years, and people still fall for it. They fall for it as if it's not just another thing, another product to be sold. Do you understand? Oh, this company reduces its CO2 output by 32% every year over year. The number goes up. Their output is... That's just so some idiot in fucking Vermont that hikes up mountains and eats granola and gets pegged by his burly fucking wife can feel better about sitting on his bicycle seat and riding down to the fucking organic lemonade shop. That's the only thing. It's only for you to get. It's only another piece of marketing. That's what every single thing is in this country. It is a piece of marketing. There's not one singular movement that is not co-opted into selling. Even the Bad Bunny performance brought to you by Apple Music. Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, the best we can hope for is something that is not dividing. You get what I'm saying? That is not divisive. And that performance is only divisive to people who felt that way before it even happened. It's like when I'm working and somebody comes in and immediately they go, "Can you turn the music down?" I know it's going to be a fucking headache because they had a problem as soon as they walked in. So the only people that are going to feel divided by a performance like that, it's the same people that are going to feel divided by Kendrick's performance last year. It is stupid, bigoted, empty-minded, close-minded fucking dummies that don't have a clue. They just don't have a clue. They drink in whatever bullshit is spewed on whatever side that they watch, and those are the same people that either watch the TPUSA halftime show, and those are also the same people that come in and go, "Well, every democracy ends in 250 years." Watch the thing. Listen. This is a very, very nuanced take of mine. This is a very specific period in the year where I want to lay back. There's a lot of people that feel this way. I love going after the elites. I love going after systems. I love telling people how worthless it is to vote and how worthless it is to look over the market and to worry about your job and all this shit. I love that. But not today, the Super Bowl, but during Super Bowl Sunday, just drink and eat and yell and watch. That's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do much else. And that is exactly what I did. I drank and I ate buffalo chicken dip and spinach dip and I smoked cigarettes and I was a goddamn American. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody, this idea of being American has been so mired with fucking bile from every angle. You got mainstream media, legacy media that's just dividing people, and then you have other people like me who are coming on podcasts and have online platforms, and they're spewing their opinions, and everything is just... Let the Super Bowl be a day where you can be a legitimate American. You eat, you drink, you watch the commercials. We want to be sold to. We get hypnotized. The commercials are hypnosis during the Super Bowl. Every other time we change. We change the channel. We swipe past the commercial. The Super Bowl has given us an opportunity to watch these commercials as art. That is the highest peak of American, to consider a commercial artistic. We're watching a commercial. We don't know what's going to happen because they're longer. They're a little bit longer than usual. And the beginning has nothing to do with what it's actually selling. It's like, they look like pharmaceutical commercials where it's a lady, it's the old Chris Rock joke, it's a lady in a tub or a guy riding on a horse, and they don't tell you what the thing does. But that's what it is now. During the Super Bowl, it's there's families and they're doing, and then it's brought to you by Lay's. Lay's had 2 or 3 different commercials on there, and they were the same kind of shit. I mean, you sit down and you watch. That is peak Americana, bro. We're watching football. We're drunk. We're fat, and we want to buy things. We want to buy things. We want to be advertised to. Let it flow through you. That is American. That is as American as it fucking gets. That is as American as it fucking gets. Not this bullshit of we're going to fight, and that's American as well, but save that for the rest of the year. This is the time. The whole reason the TPUSA thing was going on, the halftime show even happened, was because people want to regain their identity as Americans. And sure, there is some rebellion there. That is a part of our culture. But you're denying yourself. You're denying yourself the rest, okay? You're denying yourself what it is to be here, okay? You're here to eat, you're here to drink, you're here to work, and you're here to buy stuff. And if you do enough of that, one day you may be able to rest. You might be able to actually rest. You might be able to lay back for 4 or 5 years before you die of a fucking heart attack, because all that work, all that stress, it builds up somehow. And then now you're 69 years old. You've been retired for 4 years less. People are working a lot longer now. And you finally get to relax and you put your hands behind your head and you drink your lemonade and your heart twists, it coils. Your heart coils, and it just gives out, and you lay down on on your porch that you spent all your life paying off. You finally paid off this house this year. You and the missus you're gonna go to those places, and you're sitting there thinking about it, and you coil and you fall, and it makes a loud thump, and your wife comes out and says, "Jack, oh," and then that's it. And that's it. That's what it means to be a fucking American. I don't know why people are so confused. It's the Super Bowl. That is the Super Bowl. We are here to indulge. That's it. That's what we do. So I took full opportunity and I drank 3/4 of a bottle of Jack Daniels. That, on top of the wine, on top of, I had a buddy who brought aguardiente, which is perfect. That's perfect. In between shots, in between quarters, we're taking shots. Suavemente, right? We got Bad Bunny on the I mean, come on. This is the way to do it. I drank 3/4 of a bottle of Jack Daniels. I ate pizza. I ate buffalo chicken dip. We had wings. Somebody made wings. They were very good. Spin dip. You can't go wrong with spinach artichoke dip. Chips. This is what you eat. You don't show up with sushi to a fucking Super Bowl party. You don't do that. You don't show up with coconut Thai curry fucking seafood stew, which is what I made for myself, and it came out very good. I made that the other night. I had some yesterday. It actually came out very good. I'm getting a little bit more into cooking now because I realize that I can save a little bit of money, and I guess I should, because whatever. That doesn't matter. You don't show up with bullshit to the Super Bowl party. You show up with booze. You show up with cakes, sweets, cheesecake, that type of shit. And you show up with salty bullshit, crunchy, gooey, all the stuff that you imagine, because this is the Super Bowl. This is America. You eat chili. My buddy made chili. We're eating chili. Someone made guacamole. Even that is a little too... I understand. It's fine. The guac was fine. It was good. It was fine. But even that is a little too highfalutin. We need nachos. Where are the nachos? You can make your own nachos with all the shit that we had there. So that's what we did. And then I left the Super Bowl. I left the party, I should say, probably around... It was a little bit after the game. Some people were butthurt. It is what it is. I'm from New England. People were upset. Some people were very upset because they played poorly, apparently. Again, I wasn't really watching. I was in a haze. I wasn't watching the game. I'm there for the event, but if you're there to watch the game, watch the fucking game too. I was watching. I saw that the Patriots were eating shit. They sucked. It is what it is. The Seahawks deserved to win, and the game was very boring. And the commercials weren't great either, but the halftime show was incredible. Now, what's funny about this whole thing is James, who was at a bar, he just got to watch the boring game, the shitty commercials, and the shitty halftime show. He didn't get to enjoy anything, but he got drunk, so that's good, and there was free food. So me and Eddie, we left. We left right after the game, and we're walking home, and I'm in Shitsville. This is bad. Me and him are walking down the street, drinking, saying stupid shit to each other, walking in the cold. I get home, and I'm like, I need to go to bed or I'm going to throw up. I need to go to bed. That's all you're saying when you're in a state like that. When you drink that much, you're like, I need to get the fuck to bed. We're smoking joints, the whole thing during the game. It's bad, right? My belly's full of acidic food, acidic buffalo sauce and pepperoni and chili and just all this shit and whiskey, of course. And it's just all just sitting in there. And I'm like, I need to go to bed. You start talking to yourself. You're like, God. So I set my alarm and I lay down, and immediately in the dark room, I'm like, I can't. So I just get up, go to the bathroom, puke for a little bit. And I'm like, and I can't even really stand. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. This is what the Super Bowl's for. So I get up, I stumble back into my room, and I'm like, okay, now I can go to sleep. Now I can lay down. This is fine. I can do it. And I can't do it. So I lay down, and, it's bad. So I fall onto the floor, and I go get my garbage bin, and I puke in the garbage a lot. And I lay back down, and I go to bed. I go to bed, and it's not even midnight, so I'm like, this is fine. I'll sleep through the night. I'm fucked up. I should sleep through the night. Nope. Doesn't happen. My body wakes me up at 5:30 in the morning, which otherwise, remember how I said I can't wake up early in the morning? Apparently I can, as long as I'm shit-faced. If I'm shit-faced, my body's like, get up, time to go to work. And I didn't have to be at work till 10, so I had 4.5 hours. And I knew I wasn't going to go back to sleep, even though I was incredibly drunk. And every time I stood up, it was just like, oh, it was bad. It was bad. And I'm still, I was still drunk. So I laid in bed for a little while until I realized this just isn't going to happen. So I got up and I went to work. I got a bacon, egg, and cheese. I stood on the street corner. I ate that with a chocolate milk. I went to a cafe. I drank a little coffee. Tried to read, couldn't. But I had about an hour to kill, so I figured I should nurse myself. I had one cigarette left, smoked that. And then I clocked into work, guys. I clocked into work, and I worked. I worked a dead shift. I made no money. But I showed up. I showed up. Do you understand what I'm saying? I showed up, and that's American. That's American. You get fucked up on the Super Bowl. You get completely obliterated. Your only day off. I worked 6 days last week. Almost 60 hours. Again, working 2 jobs right now. 60 hours. Drank enough for 4 people, 5 people. Drank enough booze, ate enough for another 3. Okay? Smoked, went home, vomited, woke up 5:30 in the morning, had no energy, had no ability to really do anything aside from the job that I've done for almost 10 years because it's muscle memory. Got out of bed, said, fuck this. I'm going to get out of here. Got me a couple Gatorades, pounded those on the train. Got my bacon, egg, and cheese, drank my chocolate milk, had a cup of coffee, put my face down for a half hour in a cafe, smoked my Marlboro Red, and clocked in. Now that's America. God bless this country. Good night.